Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Good
Okay,
morning,
thank you. Okay. So I would like to welcome you all for today's session of the orientation program. By now, you have joined to several orientation sessions, and you know how the program is moving forward. From today onwards, you will be starting the basic IT introductory sessions, starting from Word, PowerPoint that I will conduct in today's session, right? So during these few sessions, you will get to know the basic knowledge that you have to have in order to start your academic life, right? So this orientation program is basically designed to help you to gain the basic knowledge that is useful for your academic career during the 4 years that you will be there at SUSA, right? So there can be students who are experts in handling computer applications, those who might have followed some basic courses, diplomas, but there can be still students who have not access, who do not have access to a personal computer. Sometimes they might be having, they have not followed anything until this point, right? So having that variety of backgrounds coming, we have students coming from variety of backgrounds, so that we have to have, or we have to establish a common ground for all of you to start the work, right? So if there are students who are thorough with these basic applications, you have to bear with us, because some of your colleagues might have not this luxury to learn these things. So we have to work as a unit, right? So during today's session, what I will be covering is how to work with PowerPoint application and how to work with Word application, right? So as I have mentioned you, if you have a thorough knowledge, it doesn't matter. I request all of you to follow the session and stay throughout the session. Sometimes there might be points that you have not learned, or that you have not identified options in these applications earlier, right? Okay, then I think we can start the session. Before starting the session, if you have any difficulty, you can let me know, and then we can start the session. Okay, thank you. So first of all, I'm going to explain the functionalities in the PowerPoint application, right? So if you have any doubts or any questions, you can put it in the chat, and during the session, we will discuss them, right? Okay, so the first application that I will be teaching you today, or first package that we are going to learn today, is the PowerPoint application, right? So during your undergraduate period, you will be doing lot of presentations, right? So in order to do presentations, most of the time you will be using this PowerPoint application, or you will be using set of slides to explain your content, right? So that is what we are going to start with today, right? Okay, first of all, let me share my desktop screen. Wait a minute. Everybody can see my screen, right? Can all of you see my screen? Yes or no? Okay, thank you. So here, if you when you install the Microsoft package, it comes with several applications. One application is Microsoft PowerPoint, right? So in your once you install it in your screen computer, you will have a shortcut in your desktop screen, right? So don't worry if you don't know how to install these packages. Don't worry about that. If you don't have a computer, still you don't have to worry, because once you come to the university, you have the access to the labs during any time, so that you can ask from the demonstrators, this IT supporting staff, to help you with this application to install it into your machine. So use a lab machine to work with these applications, right? So we'll assume that we have installed it in our machine and we have it to use, right? So basically, you will have a shortcut icon in your desktop so that you can start PowerPoint, right? So here I have removed it. Assume now you don't have a PowerPoint shortcut icon in your desktop, right? So easiest way is to run a search, and if you simply type PowerPoint, the application will be shown as a match, right? So now I'm going to double click it and open it, right? Okay, so now this is the starting screen of the PowerPoint application, right? So we'll start, basically as a start, create a small application, right? So at the in the home tab, you can see under new section there are available, we'll say we call this as templates, right? If you want to start from scratch, you can select this blank presentation slide. Otherwise, you can go to this new tab and click on the blank presentation. So a blank presentation will be created. Now you have to include all the content that you want to explain during your presentation in these slides, right? So first of all, we'll create a small presentation with few slides, right? So this is the first slide that we are going to have, the starting slide. So as the first slide, basically what we include in a slide, what is our presentation is all about, who will be doing the presentation, those information will go as the first slide of your presentation, right? So assume we want to create a presentation in the topic that is introduction to computing, right? Introduction to computer science, right? So what you have to do is, whenever you want to edit a slide, you can click on that particular area, right? So if I want to edit a certain block of the slide, you can click on that area, right? Now I want to insert a slide, insert the title, so I click and type, right? whatever the content that you can include. Okay, now we have created the first slide and included some content, right? Now I want to insert another slide, right? So in this application, to do one particular task, there are a lot of ways, right? So I'll give you some tips for few ways, but while you are working with this application in future, you will encounter, or you can find out what are all the possible ways to do a single task, right? So if I want to include another slide, what I will do is I will click on here and simply press enter. By pressing enter, you can include another slide to your presentation, right? Still the same, if you want to edit, you can simply click and type whatever the content, right? So I will type. And once I complete typing, if I want to go to the next line, I press enter and again type, right? Likewise, you can type, right? Okay, now I have done with the second slide as well. Now I want to insert another slide. What is the way? You can simply click on this slide and press enter. I'll show another way, right? What you can do, you can right click on the current slide and select this one, new slide. Again, it will insert another slide. Okay, so now here can you see Sadupa and Fatima. Can you stop using this annotation option? Okay, now can you see I have included 2 slides and we have the final slide, right? Simply I will include some text and complete my presentation. Assume now I have created a presentation on computer science, introduction to computer science. Now I want to save my presentation. Now you know basically how to create a presentation. Now the next basic step is to save your presentation, right? So in order to save, here at the leftmost corner, you can see this icon of save, right? Here you can see the icon. If you hover or if you move your cursor on top of this icon, you can see under that a text says save Control S, right? So one way to save the presentation is simply click on this icon, or in the keyboard, you can press Control S, right? So both will do the same thing, saving your presentation, right? So here you can see in the tab, there are several options. Here you can save, you can choose save as. So first of all, we'll save the presentation, right? So here you have to give the location that you would like to save. I will select the desktop. You can give the presentation file name. So it will be saved as a PowerPoint presentation, right? So now if I click on save option, and if I close this one and show my screen, you can see the presentation that I have created is saved in the desktop, right? Now I will simply click and open it. You can double click and open it, right? Okay. So now you know how to insert text, right? So now we will see how we can modify the presentation that we have already created and get to know what are the other options, right? Okay, so now look at this tab. Here we have several tabs in the ribbon, right? We have file option, home, insert, design, transition, animation. Likewise, you have several tabs, right? So by clicking on a certain tab, you can see what are the options available under this tab. So if I click on this tab, you can see what are the options. Likewise, right? Okay. So now here, I'll insert another slide simply by pressing the enter option. Now I want to have two columns in this slide. If you look at this one here, I have only one box where I can enter the content. Right now I want to have two boxes where I want to have two sections like advantages and disadvantages. A certain comparison I want to include here. Assume that is the case, right? So in order to change the layout of this presentation, what I will do is I will go to this home tab, and here you can see a option called slide layout, right? So if you click on that, again, if you hover or if you move your cursor on top of that option, you can see what it can do. Change the layout of your slide. So if you don't know about a certain option, you can simply go and place your mouse cursor there and see what that option is capable of. Right now you can click on that. Here the available layouts are given. Right now I want to have two contents, so I will click on that. Now you can see my layout has been changed. Right now I will enter some text. Right, there's no meaning, I'll just enter. Right here also, if you like, you can enter and see. Right. Okay. That way we can change the layout of a slide, right? Now if you insert another slide and if you want to change the layout of that slide, simply go and click on whatever the layout you would like to have, right? So accordingly your slide layout would change, right? Okay, now assume I want to insert some special charts, pictures and tables into my presentation. So that is the next basic type of component that you would be inserting to a presentation. We know how to insert text now. Now we'll see how we can insert other objects, right? Okay, so first of all, we'll try to insert a picture, right? I'll go to the usual layout mode. Again, in order to insert, you can use lot of options. I am repeating the same thing. In order to do one particular task, there are a lot of options. Here I am explaining you few basic steps or few basic ways, and you can discover or explore this tool later. So I will go to the insert tab. I want to insert something to my slide. So what is that I want to insert? First of all, I'll try to insert a picture, right? So if you want to insert a picture, go to this picture tab, go to this, select the location where the picture is stored. If it is a picture that you are trying to use that is online, you can simply use this one. If you have downloaded the image into your desktop, you select this option. And choose what is the picture that you want to insert here, right? So I'll select the picture that is saved in the desktop. So I go to this option, select the picture and click insert, right? Okay, so that way we can insert a picture, right? Again, here, if you look at this layout, here also there are several icons available. If you look at this one, it says picture. If I click on that thing, same thing happens. From here also, you can insert a picture, right? Okay. Once you insert a picture, your ribbon changes. Here you can see there's a special tab called picture format. If you want to change anything in the picture, or if you want to do adjustments to the picture, you can use these options, right? Here, I request you to use this chat only to ask questions regarding the content of this presentation or what I'm explaining here. Your personal messages like asking your friends to text and all, I ask all of you to refrain from chatting or using the chat for your personal purposes, right? If you want to know anything regarding the content or regarding the orientation program, you can use the chat, right? For your personal communications, don't use this chat, right? Okay, so here you can see, coming back, here you can see we have insert a picture. If I want to do any kind of modification, simply when I select this picture, your picture format tab is available. You can use that one, right? For example, if I want to crop this picture, I will select this option. Now you can crop your picture, right? Assume I want to remove this black border. So I will be cropping this picture, right? So whatever the change you want to do for the picture, simply click on that. The picture format tab is available. All the options are here. You can click on them and see what that how your picture changes, right? What is the effect that is applied over your picture, right? Okay, so that way we can insert pictures and do whatever modification, right? Next thing is how to insert tables, right? So again, I will go to another new slide. In order to insert, now you can simply understand, go to the insert tab, click on this table option and specify how many rows and how many columns you want to have in your table, right? So once you click on that, or once you select the needed number of rows and columns, the table will be inserted, right? Now, again, you can see your ribbon has been changed, right? So if I click on this table, you can see a special tab called Table Design is there now. Whatever the change you like to do in your table, whatever the option that you want to change for your table is available in this tab called Table Design. For example, if you want to change the color of the table, all the table styles are given here. You can select whatever the style you like to have, right? If you want to change the border size or border style, you can simply do it, right? So I request all of you to do or click on these options and see what happens to your table, right? So no harm would be happen because you are simply trying to learn things by investigating, right? Don't, since this is a learning session, you can simply create a presentation, click on all these options and see how that changes. What are the changes that is happening to your presentation, right? Okay, so that way you can modify your table, and then if you want to insert charts and graphs, similarly, you can use the option here, insert, and go to the smart art and chart option, right? Same thing can be done here using these icons as well, right? If you want to insert a table, you simply click on that. And here you can specify the number of rows and columns. Click OK. A table will be there. If you want to insert the details or the text to the table, click on the row and do the modification, right? Similar manner, if you want to insert charts, the same thing. Either you can click on this icon, go to the insert option, select what is the smart chart or the smart art that you would like to have, right? So here I simply go with the smart art. Here you can see there are a lot of smart art graphics available, lists, processes, cycles, hierarchy. So these will be useful in your presentations, right? Sometimes you will be explaining a certain process, right? Certain process. So simply you can use these smart graph to have a visual explanation, right? By looking at the graph, easily you can understand, easily the viewers can understand what you are trying to explain, right? Graphs, charts, pictures are visual explanations, right? So simply you can use them to make your presentation attractive and easy to understand, right? So I have inserted the smart art here. Now, when you want to edit, you can simply click on that and do the modification, right? Simply click on that and do the modification. Here you can see the pane is also available. Rather than clicking on that separately, you can click on this point and do the modification as well, right? Simply changing here also, you can do the same thing, right? Okay. Now again, look at the tab. Look at the tab. Now we have a smart art design tab. Whatever the modification that you want to do for this art are available in these options, right? So if, for example, if you want to change the color scheme, now I have inserted that, I want to do a modification. I want to change the color scheme. You can simply click on that. You pick whatever the color scheme you like and do the modification, right? So that's simple as that. Okay. So now we learn how to create a presentation, how to insert text, how to insert different objects like pictures, tables, smart art likewise, right? Now, if you are curious about what these insertions are, what you simply have to do is simply click on that, select whatever the option you like, and insert it, right? So that's simple as that. Okay, now here you can see apart from these basics, we have this header and footer, right? So if you want to have a consistent slide set with header and footer details included in your presentation, you can simply click on that. If you click on that, here you can see what are the details that you can include in the header and footer, right? So include on this slide. If I want to include the date and time, I click on that. Here you can see update automatically, right? So what that means, so today's day is the 5th of August, right? Now if I click on this update automatically, whenever I open this slide set again, assume I open this slide set on November 5th. On November 5th, I am opening the same slide set, right? So on that day, the footer date that is inserted or shown in your slide will be November 5th. So the current date would be there. If you want to have a fixed date, whenever you open this slide, you want to have the footer date as 5th of August. If that is so, you can have it as fixed, right? Now, if you want to have slide number, you can click on this. And if you want to have a special footer note, you can click on that and mention what is the footer you want to have. Here, if you do not want to have a slide number in the title slide or in the very first slide, you can click on this one as well, right? If you don't want, you can untick it. And if you apply it to all the slides, here you can see the footer is included. The date is there, the slide number is there, footer note is there, right? So for all the slides, that will be applied, right? Okay, so that's how you can insert the basic objects, header and footer as well, right? Apart from that, here you can see there are other options, like if you want to insert a video clip saved in your machine or in somewhere else, you can simply click on this one and select it. If you want to have audio clip, click on this and select it, right? Simply click and see what happens, right? Don't worry, no harm, no damage to your machine by clicking and exploring these tools, right? Okay, so now we have inserted certain objects and modified our presentation. Again, we'll save our presentation. Here, I simply click on this option, save. Now, I want to see how my presentation would look like, right? So, in order to do that, you can go to this view option, right? Sorry, you can go to this slide show option. Sorry, you can go to this slide show option, right? Now, if I click on this one, click from beginning, you can go to the slideshow mode from the starting point of your presentation. And if you want to go to the next slide, simply press enter or click the down arrow in your keyboard, right? That way you can go from one slide to another slide, right? That is one way, right? From beginning, if you click on that, whatever the point you are currently at, from that point onwards, you will have the presentation mode on, right? The easiest way to go to a slideshow mode is simply here. If you go to the bottom toolbar, you can see this option slideshow, right? So I'll go to the first slide, and if I click on this one, I can go to the slideshow mode, right? Okay, so now you know how to create a presentation, how to save it, and how to present it, right? How to present it. Okay, now if you go to the slideshow mode, you saw here, you saw simply we moved from one slide to another slide, right? So when you want to have special effects, when you move from one to another slide, you can go to this transition tab, right? So this transition tab will add special effects from moving one slide to another slide, right? For example, if I want to add this fading effect to my presentation, right? If you move on to this, or if you place your cursor on top of this fade option, here it says the previous slides fades away, revealing the current slide, right? So we'll try to apply it. So I apply it. If I want to have a preview, here you can see the preview, right? So you can see, right? Here, these slides are moving in the normal manner. When I move from this slide to this slide, it is having the fading effect, right? So that way, if you want to have any transition effect to your presentation, you can simply click on that and apply it to your presentation, right? You can preview it as well, right? Now, if I want to have the same transition for all the slides in my presentation, what I can do is, you can select whatever the animation that you would like to have and click on this option, apply to all. So what happens? This transition will be applied to all the slides. Now, if I go to the presentation mode, here, now all the slides are having the same transition. Right? Here there are several other options related to the transition. Like if you want to have a special sound included during the transition, how you are going to have the duration, or what is the duration of the transition, on which way you are going to apply the transition, whether it's upon clicking the mouse or after a certain time. You can set a timer, so the transition will automatically happen after this specified time, right? You don't want to click using the mouse, or you don't have to click the enter button, or you don't have to press the down arrow to go from one slide to another slide if you select the timer option, right? So anyway, you can simply add options, transitions to your presentation by using this transition tab, right? So when it comes to academic presentation, a professional presentation, we are going to use limited transitions. Like we are not going to overuse this transition as well as the animation options, right? Okay. So now we will go to the next step, that is the animation, right? So in animation, what you can do is, you can animate the objects in the slide, right? So now assume I want to have an animation effect to this picture that I have included in the presentation, right? I'll have a certain topic. Now I want to animate this picture. So what I will do, I will simply click and select whatever the animation that I would like to have for this picture, right? Now if I go to the presentation mode, Here you can see a special animation for the picture, right? I'll use another animation to show it clearly. If I click on the slide, the picture will be animated and shown, right? So this is the animations related to the entrance, how the object will enter to the slide, right? Then you can add several other animations, how you emphasize the object on the slide and how it moves out from the slide. If you want, you can add them, right? So if you want to add several other animations, simply you can select this option, add animation, select whatever the animation you want to have, and it will be added. Now again, if I go to the slideshow mode, if I click, the object will be entered. Again, if I click, it will be leaving the presentation or slide, right? So now, that way you can add different animations. Entrance, emphasis, exit, right? Again, if I quickly do the same thing, here I want to add an animation for this object to enter, and we'll have the emphasis, and we'll have another animation to exit, right? Again, if I go to the presentation mode, here the entrance, emphasis, exit, right? Okay. Now, if I want to modify the animations that I have included for a certain object, you can go to this animation pane. Click on that. All the animations that you have included here are shown, right? So this is the second object. This is the first object. Here you can see. If you want to remove a certain animation, simply select it and remove it, right? So that way, you can do changes to the animations that you have included using this tab. Here, this animation pane is useful to see how your animation looks like over the time period, and if you want to modify. Again, the same thing, like transitions, you can have animations on click or along with the previous animation, right? So you that is how long the animation is shown, and delay means how many seconds you will wait to play the next animation after a certain animation, right? What is the delay that you are going to have? So all these changes simply you can apply by simply clicking on these options, right? So now I think everybody understood the basic way how to use these options and how to play around these options, right? Okay. So now, again, I will save this presentation. Now, having this basic understanding, you can create a very good presentation, right? So, apart from that, there are certain other formatting options that we can discuss. So, I will briefly go through them. So, if I go to this design tab, you can apply designs to your presentation, right? So, all these slides are blank slides or white slides with black text in the presentation. If I want to have special styles to my presentation, you can go to this design tab. And if you click on a specific design, that design will be applied to all the slides in your presentation. We call it as a theme, right? So it will decide what is the background color, what is the font type of the title text, what is the font color of the title text. So everything would be changed by following the style selected, right? So everything would be changed, right? If I select another style, you can see all the slides are changing by the selected style, right? Okay, so that way you can simply go with design tab, right? Now, assume you want to have this style, but you don't like the color scheme, right? So if you want to change a certain theme or design, simply what you can go is, you can go to this variant tab, right? So variant tab would help you to change the color scheme of the given design, change the font type of the given design, change the effects, change the background style, right? So likewise, you can apply a design and change it, right? Simply like that. Okay. Assume you don't like these designs. You like the colors, but you don't like these fonts and no. You want to have a design on your own. If so, what you can do is you can create a design on your own, right? In order to do that, you can go to the master slides, right? So I will remove this design to have a design on our own. What I will do is I will go to this weave option. There you can see option called slide master, right? Slide master. So here, whatever the design that you apply for your master slide can be act as the theme of your presentation. So we'll see what it is, right? Now I want to change the font type and the style of the title text of the or the topic of the presentation. So what I will do is simply I will select it and do the changes. How can I do? All the font related changes are in the home tab. I will go to the home tab and here I am going to pick whatever the style I like. Font type, assume I want to have the underlying effect. So simply I select it, right? I select it, right? Apart from that, assume I want to have a background color for all my slides in the presentation, right? So in order to do that, you can go to this option, background style. Still, I am in the slide master option. I am going to go to the background style and select whatever the style that I like, right? So simply you can select from this available slots, or you can go to this format option and select whatever the style you like, right? And select this option, apply to all, right? Oh, sorry. If you close this one, now you can see all your slides are having the style that you have set in the slide master, right? So if I insert a new slide, again, it will have the same option, same patterns, right? So same designs. If I insert another one, so how we created the style on our own, simply I select this weave option, went to the slide master option, and here I change all the styles in this particular slide, right? That way you can create the presentation design on your own, right? Okay, so these are the basic things that you want to know, that you have to know when you create a presentation on your own, right? So as students, when you get ready for a presentation, another special area or special feature that you can use is this note option, right? Now assume you are preparing a presentation and you have special points in certain slides that you would like to explain verbally during the presentation. You don't want to have them in this slide set. So what you can do is you can mention those special points here. Likewise, you can include the special notes. So by looking at the special notes, you remind yourself what you have to explain in this slide. So likewise, you can add notes, right? So notes are not shown in the presentation, but in order to get ready for the presentation, they are helpful, right? These we call as notes in the slide, right? Okay, so now assume you have created the presentation. Now you want to know how you want to practice your presentation. You are asked to do a presentation within a specific time frame, right? Okay, this is a special thing that you have to keep in your head when you are doing presentations, right? So from your first year to final year, till the final thesis presentation, you will be doing lot of presentation, right? So these lecturers will give you a guideline on the time management, as if how much time you are given to complete the presentation, right? Most of the evaluation schemes contain a special mark for time management, right? So if you are asked to complete a presentation within 5 minutes, you have to do it, right? So if you exceed that time duration, definitely your marks will be cut off, right? So in order to get ready with the presentations and rehearse the presentations, you can use these options in the presentation that is helpful, right? Here, if you go to the slideshow option, you can see there's an option called rehearse timing, right? So this you can use to have a perfect practice before the presentation. How? Simply click on that, and here you can see a timer has started, right? So now practice. Assume you are doing the real presentation, you explain this slide, go to the next slide, go to the next slide. Likewise, you complete the presentation, and here during this, looking at this timer, you can see how much time you have spent for the presentation. Accordingly, you can do the adjustments and get ready for your presentation, right? Okay. So finally, a last point related to these presentations, that is during the presentation, sometimes you want to have a hard copy of this slide set, right? Sometimes you want to have a hard copy of the created slide set. So in order to do that, here you can go to the file option and select this one, print, right? If you select this one and simply click a printer and print, you will have the hard copies printed, right, of these slides. So here you can see the preview. Entire page will contain one slide of your presentation. If you want to change that, here, full page slides. One page, one slide. If you want to change that, here you can select whatever the handout mode that you would like to have. If you want to have a page with the note option, you can select on that. Print layout. Otherwise, if you want to have a handout view, for example, I want to have 4 slides printed in one page. You can select that. And if you use this option, you can save your presentation as a PDF form, right? So your presentation will be saved. Here, I simply saved in my desktop as a PDF. If I open it, you can see my presentation is saved. Right? Okay, if I again open this one. Okay. Okay, now I have exercise for all of you, right? So here I have created one slide. I will simply open it. Look at this slide. Look at this slide carefully and identify what are the issues. So what are the things that you would give as recommendations to modify this slide and make it more attractive, right? So somebody is doing a presentation on data science and a slide has been created. So now look at this slide carefully and see what are the things that can be changed in order to make it more attractive. Can you quickly give some suggestions? Some suggestions? This is a presentation slide. But for me, it is not attractive. I'll let you know. I'll tell you why it is so for me. But as a viewer, simply you might have an idea, right? Yes. Yes, very good. I'm getting good answers. You are good observers. So try to have more suggestions. Very good. Yes. Okay. Look at this one. If you look at this description, it is a paragraph, right? Normally, you are simply including points in your presentation. And the description you explain verbally. That is about a presentation, right? This is not a document for somebody to read and understand. A presentation is something that you explain verbally, right? It is not a good practice to have paragraphs included in a presentation. Whatever the main points, 3-4 points you include in point form, and all the things you explain verbally, right? That is a very good point. Another point here, again, something that you have noticed. If you look at this one, this is the heading of the presentation slide. And this is the body explaining the content, right? But if you look at the font sizes, the title font is much smaller than the body text. It is not a good practice. Your title is the first thing that we read, and it should be the first place we attract the audience into. You have to have larger font size, and even if you look at the contrast, this is black and this is bright blue. So it's difficult for our eye, right? As a viewer, it's uncomfortable for us to read the content. So when you pick the font size, basically we recommend the title to have a font size larger than 32 point and the body to have a point, have text at least 24 point or above, right? So that is the basic recommendation. And when you think about the color contrast, you have to have a clear background color that is contrasting to the text color, but it should be something that is not uncomfortable for the viewer, right? And if you look at these pictures, I told you we can include pictures to attract the audience and give our message easily. But if you think about data science, I have included a picture of a student. That is not related, right? Whatever the content that you include in the presentation should be related, and you have to include only if needed, right? Since you know how to include the picture, you don't have to. It is not a good practice to include irrelevant information into the presentation, right? So have that in mind. So apart from that, when you do a basic academic presentation, make sure that you have a simple presentation, a straightforward, simple presentation where you have only the key points in the slide as well as the content explained verbally, right? And if you are including any animation transitions, have limited animation and transition in order to convey your message effectively, right? Having lot of animations and transitions make your presentation childish. It's not a professional presentation, right? Okay, so the most important thing is when you do a presentation, you have to practice and do the time management effectively to convey the message to the audience, right? Okay, so these are actually points that I emphasized, that is not related to how to create a presentation, but they are useful in future presentations that you will do during your undergraduate period, right? So have a presentation that is simple, explaining your details or explaining your ideas in a straightforward manner and attract the audience, right? Okay. Okay, what is the question? Okay. Yes. Yes, some of you have mentioned that picture should not cover the text. That is a very good observation. Then if you want to have pictures, you should not disturb the text that is there in the slide. Yes, that is a very good observation, right? Yes, consistency is a must. So if you have a certain font type and font style selected for your slide, make sure you follow the same thing for other slides, right? Assume you have another slide. Assume you have another slide. Now you know how to apply all the formattings and all, right? So you change the font size and font color and everything in the second slide into a different one. Then you go to another slide and you apply another style for the third slide. So that is not the way of a professional presentation. You have to have the consistency throughout your presentation. Simply why we use a presentation? To convey our message effectively, right? So we have to have a straightforward approach without creating a fancy childlike presentation, right? You have to have the consistency, have the same font style throughout the presentation, have the same design throughout the presentation, right? Okay, so that's the basic idea that I wanted to convey regarding the presentations, right? Okay, I have exit the presentation mode, right? So here, look at this one. There are different styles that I have included. This is not a professional presentation. Okay, so we are running out of time. So I explained something out of this context because I thought it would be useful for your future, right? Okay, now I will directly jump into the Word application. Again, the same thing. You will have a Word shortcut icon. You can double click on that. If you don't have, you can simply click on and select this option, Word. Okay. So if you click on that, the starting page is there. I will start with a blank Word document, right? So this is the Home tab. If you go to the New tab, again the same thing. You can have a blank documentation, right? Simply, you can type the content of your documentation and save it, right? Now this is not magic, right? Just like in the PowerPoint, you create the presentation and save it. Just similar to that, in the Word, you create the document and click this option save, or you press Ctrl S, or you go to this file option and select this save option, right? So I'm going to save again in the desktop. Click on that and give a name for your document. And this is saving as a Word document. Simply click on save, right? So if you close the document now, here you can see your first document is created. Simply click on that, right? Okay. Now simply look at these tabs. In the PowerPoint, we had the Home tab, Insert tab, Design tab. So we just like that, in Word also you have the options available, right? Okay. So here, if you go to the Insert tab, just like the earlier case, just like the earlier case, Jaya Pradeepika. Again, I am requesting everybody to stop annotating the screen. Okay, right. So now similarly, if you want to insert tables here, you simply click on this table option, select the table with number of rows and columns. We have a table design now. Table design tab, whatever the design that you want to have for your table, simply you can have it, whatever the special formattings you would like to have, right? So when you want to edit or type, you simply click on the specific cell and insert the data, right? Same goes with pictures, shapes, smart art, charts that we discussed already in the presentation application, right? PowerPoint application, right? So here also you can add headers, footers, page numbers, right? If you want to have a header, you can select whatever the style you like to have and insert the header, right? So you can edit the header title. And now once you close the header, you can see the header is included. Now if I simply continue pressing enter, I can insert another page. Here you can see the new page also having the same header. Similarly, if you want to have a footer, again you can go to this option footer and select the whatever the footer style you like to have, right? And edit it. And if you close that, you can see the footers are there. Now, if I don't want to have these other placeholders, I go to the footer option and edit the footer. I remove these two, delete these two, right? And close. Very simple, right? Now, if I want to have a page number, you select whatever, sorry, you can include the page numbers as footer as well, right? So this is the simple way, right? You can simply create a document. Now, I will without going to these others options, I will show you how to have a document created with specific formattings and specific designs so that it will be helpful. What do you want me to repeat? How to insert footers and headers? Okay. So what I explained here, how to insert headers and footers, right? If you want to insert a header or footer, click on this insert tab, go to the header option. You can select whatever the style you like to have for the header. Whatever the style, you insert the header style. Now, if you want to edit the title of the header, you can simply click on that and type, right? And close. So the footer will be added. Similarly, you can add the others. Footer, page number. We added the header. You can add page number as well as footer, right? Okay. Now, this is a simple way to create a document. Now, assume I want to create a assignment or a document with a specific flow. Like I have chapters, then I have the references. Likewise, I want to create a comprehensive document with a specific format, right? So I will quickly show you how to do that, right? I will start with the new Word document. So I will go to this file, we'll go to the new option, create a blank document, right? Okay, so now in order to have a specific design, first thing is you can use a already created design, right? For example, here if you go to the design tab, here there are designs already created, right? Designs already created. If you like a certain design, you can select that and use it in your document, right? So use it in your document, right? What did I do? Again, if I undo and do the same thing. First of all, I include whatever the content I want to have, right? Assume this is the topic of my document, this is the subtopic, and this is the text I would like to have. I'll copy a text available online. Simply, I will copy this text. Right? This is the body text. Okay, so now I have a heading, right? So what I will do, I will select this one. It is the heading. So I will use this style heading one. That is my heading one. This is my second heading, heading 2. I will select the style heading 2. Right? And this is my body text. So I will have it as normal text. Right? This is my heading 3. Right? Okay, now I have selected the styles that I want to have. Now for this document, I am going to go with already created designs. For example, this one, if I select this one, all my headings will be changed according to the specified design. This one like this is this way, this is another style, likewise, right? So you can change according to a given style, right? That is one possibility, right? Most of the time, we are creating a style on our own, right? So in order to create a style on our own, again, I'm going to go to a new slide, a new document. Then whatever the things you type, you can have a style on your own, right? So first of all, I'll have a document with few chapters, right? I'm going to start with chapter 1. Right? So that is my heading. So I will select the style heading 1. So what is my starting chapter? That is introduction. That is my first chapter. So I'm going to have certain description in my chapter 1. Then I'm going to create my chapter 2. Right? Again, it's a heading. So what I will do, I will select and use the style heading. Right? What is my second chapter is about? I'll say background, right? That is my second heading, background. Under the background, I'm going to explain the history. As subheadings, right? So this is my heading 2 now. So what I will do, I will select the option heading 2, right? I'll have the same description under these topics, right? I will create another chapter quickly, chapter 3. So this is my third heading, right? So I have selected them, right? Now, if you even though you have included the heading style, if you don't like that, for example, here the style is having a blue color text, right? So if you want to have different styles, what you can do is you can modify your style, already created style. What you can do, you click on this and select this apply styles option. Here you have option to modify your style. For example, I don't want blue, I want to have black, right? You can see all the headings are now changed to black. Subheadings are still blue, right? So likewise, you can add chapters, right? Now I will have these chapters in new pages. This is my first page and this is my second page and this is my third page, right? So now assume I have created the document like this, right? You have a complete document by including all the details. Next thing is you want to create a table of content. One way to create a table of content is typing all these headings and mentioning the page numbers, right? So we'll have a page number as well here in order to see how it changes, right? We'll include a page number to the bottom center, right? Okay. Now we have a page number included in the document. So I'll show you now a shortcut to create simple table of content, right? How? One way is to type everything by hand, like chapter 1, what is its page number. Everything you have to type, right? What is the heading, subheadings, likewise you have to type. Instead of that, you can auto-generate the table of content, right? How you can do it? Simply go to this reference tab. If you go to the reference tab, here you can see the option called table of content. If you click on that, already designed styles are here for the table of content, right? So assume I like this style. So what I will do, I will click on that. Here, this is the one I have already typed. I can simply include. Here you can see. Here you can see the content that we have already created is included in the form of table of content, right? Now assume I change my topic, Introduction to Computer Science. Introduction to Computer Science. Here you don't have to modify it manually. What you have to do is simply click on this update table update the entire table, click OK. So the changes will happen automatically. It is quite easy, right? The page numbers, titles, everything is included automatically, right? This is a very useful way to create a document with special design on your own, right? Another point that I would like to emphasize here is when you create documents, you are referring to other sources, right? If you are referring, you have to include references, right? So assume this description or this piece of information I have taken from a research paper, right? If that is so, you have to add a reference, right? So in order to add a reference, again you go to the reference tab. Here you have option called insert citation, right? So if you simply click on that, you can go to the add new source option. Here you can see from where you have referenced, whether it's from a book, journal, article, conference, report, whatever the source, right? Assume it is a conference article that we have taken the details from. So you have to enter the conference details, right? Title of the article, in which year it was published, what is the conference name. So in applied, we have a conference, undergraduate conference called APSAS. So simply I will include it. Simply you have to mention the details and press OK. So here you can see reference number is included, right? So now at the end of your document, you have to include the sources of references, right? So in order to do that, simply you go to this bibliography option and select whatever the style that you would like to have. Assume this is the reference style that I would like to have. All the references I have included in the document are automatically included in the reference list now, right? Okay, so that way you can create a comprehensive document, right? So you can have a front cover to your document and complete it as a comprehensive document, right? So if I save it now, if I save it and close, here in my desktop screen, you can see the document and I open it. And here you can see the document, right? A comprehensive document is included, right? Okay. So this is how you can include the table of content, then the design of interest and the references to your document. Now I think it's not a big deal to include the other objects like tables and all. Simply you insert it to your document, and if it is a picture, you simply go to the option insert picture. You select the picture from the location and insert, right? So when you are inserting pictures, graphs, tables, your tables and pictures are considered as special objects, and we are going to have titles for them as well, right? So in that case, simply what you want, if you want to have a caption for your a table or a picture, what you can do is you click on the picture and go click on the table and go to this insert caption option, right? So there you can insert the title of your table, right? Title and click OK, right? So this is a figure. Again, if you want to have a caption, insert caption. Click OK, right? Now, in your document, you will have lot of tables and lot of pictures to explain your concept, right? So similarly, just like table of content, you can have the table of figures and references, right? So in order to have a table of figures, you simply can go to this reference option, insert tables of figures and click OK, right? Sorry, here I have made a mistake. I will modify it. This is not a table. This is a figure, right? If I show this one here, you can see in the table of figures and table of tables, here you can see there are two tables. Actually, that is not the case. This is a table and this is a picture. So if I want to edit the caption, I go to the caption and change it. And click OK. Right. So I'm going to get rid of this one. Now I want to update it. I'm going to update it. Right. So this is my table of tables. Here you can include table of figures, right? Simply what you have to go, select insert table of figures, select whatever the table that you want to have, whether it's a table, figure or equation, and then click OK, right? So that will be included, right? So since I want to have this as a heading, simply I would go to the Home tab, select the style I would like to have. This is also a heading. I select that. Right? Okay, so that way you can have a complete document created. Another thing that you want to include in a document is equations, right? A special component that you have in your document. So in order to insert equations, go to the Insert tab and go to this Equations tab, right? So if you know the equation that you want to have already, simply if it is a predefined equation, you can click on that and use it. That is already inserted, right? So if you want to have an equation that is not predefined in this document equation list, what you have to do is you have to create an equation on your own. To do that, go to this Insert New Equation tab, right? So in the New Equation tab, you can decide what are the left-hand side and right-hand side components, right? So based on that, you can use the placeholders and do the changes, right? For example, assume in your equation, you are going to have like x equal a certain square root kind of equation in the right hand side. So then what we can simply do is, this is the equation. So we are going to have a placeholder. So that is a left hand side, right hand side equation. Let's assume, shall we use a special symbol again to have a simple idea? I'll just use this one, right? I want to have an equation for the right hand side that is of the square root value. So simply click on the placeholder and change it, right? That way you can simply include your equation. Again, I'm going to insert another equation that is again a simple equal type equation. I'm going to have x equal. Then for the right hand side, I'm going to have kind of equation like this. So simply I click on the special placeholder that I want to edit and type. Select the placeholder and type. That way you can include the equations, right? That is another thing that you can include in your document. You may want to include in your document. Go to the Insert tab and click on the Equation tab. Okay, so these are the basic options that you should know when you are creating reports, thesis documents, then your assignments, yes, those kind of stuff. I think now you got to know actually more than enough knowledge in order to use this application, these two applications, Word and PowerPoint, right? So another thing that you might have noticed is here when you work with groups, and when you are generating or when you are creating document as a group, sometimes you want to convey certain messages to your friends as comments, certain things that you are not sure about or certain things that you request from your friend to insert. So that you can simply mention them as comments for your friends to see and do the needed action. So in order to do that, simply you can go to this review option and select this option comment. If you click on that, you can have a comment, right? you are not sure this is the correct title or not? You can simply enter your comment, right? So whenever your friend sees the comment, that person understand there should be a certain change to the title here by looking at the comment, right? So assume now your second friend opens this document, download and open this document and make the changes. You made the change. Now you have addressed this comment, right? So you can simply click on this resolve option, right? If you are not sure about your change, you can have a reply to your friend and ask to check again, right? But if you are sure that you have resolved the comment, you can simply click on this resolve option, right? Resolve will complete the comment or record that comment is addressed. If you want to reopen the comment, you can simply click on that, right? If you are done with all the changes addressing the comments, if you want to delete the comment, simply click on this delete option, right? So the comment will be deleted, right? Okay, so these are the basic things that I wanted to explain under Word application, right? So apart from that, you can integrate other tools. For example, here I have integrated the Grammarly tool in order to check the grammar and spelling mistakes in my document, right? So these are actually useful tools that you can integrate with Word application to have a document that is free from grammatical and spelling mistakes. And even they are giving some suggestions for your sentences based on the context, right? So here I have included the Grammarly, or I have integrated the Grammarly tool to my Word application. So you can see certain suggestions, right? Okay, so that's all that I wanted to explain. Here also, in order to save the document, you can use this option save. And if you want to print the document, you can have it printed. When you are printing, you can select whatever the paper sizes and all. You can change them, whether you want to have one-sided or both-sided printed. You can select all the needed settings and click on print to print it, right? And if you want to save your document in other extensions, for example, I want to save my document as a PDF. So what I will do, I will save as, you give a document type and you select whatever the type that you want to save as. I want to have it as a PDF file. So here in my desktop, you can see a PDF is generated. Open it. You can see the created document. Okay. Okay, so these are the basic options that I wanted to explain you. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat. So we'll see what are the questions that we have for today. Anything that is not clear that you want to explain me again? If you want something to explain me again, I can do it. You can simply tell me what it is. Okay, some of you have asked me to explain the things in Sinhala. We have only 10 minutes. No? Since there are Tamil students, Sinhala students, I explain the things in English to, yes, to pass the message to everybody. I will quickly, briefly go through the things that I have explained here in Sinhala in a summarized form. Okay, so everybody is asking Miss Choshani's number. So this is her number. You can contact her for any requests. I think this is number is 1, 2, 3.